Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a modern engineering dilemma that honestly affects almost every single one of us on our daily commute. Think about the cars we drive. Especially as we transition over to EVs, we desperately need materials that make these vehicles significantly lighter. Why? To squeeze out every drop of that precious battery range. But here's the massive catch. We can't compromise one single inch on safety. When a crash happens, that structure literally needs to be rock solid. So how do you make something incredibly light yet devastatingly strong? Well, that's exactly the magic we're exploring today. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the engineering dilemma, explore some microstructural magic, map out the AHSS family tree, face a manufacturing reality check, and finally, look at the future of steel. Section 1. The Engineering Dilemma: Lighter, Safer, Stronger. For decades, automotive designers have basically been locked in this intense tug-of-war between making cars lighter and making cars safer. Physics hasn't exactly played nice here. With traditional high-strength steel, there's always a painful trade-off. Making it stronger generally means making it more brittle and a lot harder to form into complex shapes, like a car door or a fender. And this brilliantly illustrates the solution: advanced high-strength steels, or AHSS. They completely rewrite the rulebook by achieving both incredible strength and good formability at the exact same time. We literally don't have to choose anymore. To put that sheer strength into perspective, AHSS grades achieve tensile strength several times greater than conventional mild steel. So why does that actually matter to you and me? Well, it allows engineers to use much thinner, lighter sections of steel to replace the thicker, heavy parts of the past, all without losing an ounce of crash safety performance. If you strip away that weight, you directly improve fuel efficiency in gas cars, and critically, you extend the usable driving range in EVs. It's an absolute game changer. Section 2. Microstructural magic: the secret sauce inside the steel. So, how exactly are they pulling this off? To understand the solution, we have to look deep inside the steel itself. Advanced high-strength steels aren't just made by blindly dumping more carbon into the mix, which, was the old-school way of hardening metal. Instead, these grades are engineered for toughness, flexibility, and extreme conditions using carefully controlled microstructures. Think of it like a highly sophisticated recipe at the atomic level, where every single ingredient and baking time is calibrated to absolute perfection. Now, what's really interesting about this is how these different microscopic phases actually dance together. AHSS utilizes what's called a multi-phase microstructure. First, you have ferrite, which is soft and ductile. That's what allows the steel to deform easily when a factory is stamping it into shape. Then you have martensite, which is incredibly hard and strong, providing that rigid final strength. And finally, austenite. This one is the wild card. It's transformative, literally hardening during deformation. By combining these different phases within the exact same piece of steel, metallurgists get the absolute best properties of each one. Section 3, the AHSS family tree. Meet the heavy hitters. Once metallurgists figured out how to mix these microstructures, they started creating different players tailored for very specific jobs. First up is the most widely used grade out there: dual-phase steel. Just like the name implies, it's a two-part system. It features a soft, ductile ferrite matrix that's peppered with hard martensite islands distributed all throughout it. During manufacturing, the ferrite does all the heavy lifting for formability, easily bending into those sleek automotive curves. But once it's in place, those embedded martensite islands provide a rigid, high-strength skeleton. But what if you need a metal that actually reacts to an impact? So the crucial point is that some of these steels have an adaptive superpower. They don't just sit there. They actively respond to physical trauma, strengthening exactly when and where it's needed. Enter trip steel, or transformation-induced plasticity steel. Remember that wildcard phase, austenite? Well, trip steel intentionally retains austenite in its microstructure. And here is the truly incredible part. During a car crash, as the metal is deforming and crushing, that mechanical stress actually causes the austenite to instantly transform into rock-hard martensite. The metal literally gets stronger precisely as it's being crushed. This gives trip steel absolutely exceptional energy absorption capabilities, making it a total lifesaver in automotive crash structures. Then, of course, we have the ultimate heavyweight champions of sheer force, martensitic AHSS. These grades achieve the absolute highest strength levels among the common types we've discussed. The trade-off, though, is that they generally have reduced ductility compared to dual-phase or trip steels. Basically, these are designed for critical parts that are not meant to bend, ever. Let's move to and see how this builds into a real manufacturing technique. For maximum strength in compact spaces, think of the safety structures in your car's door beams, roof supports, or bumper reinforcements. We use press hardening steel, also known as hot stamp steel. The process is a sequential marvel. Step 1, the steel is heated red hot right into the austenite phase range. Step 2, it's aggressively formed into its complex shape inside a stamping die. And step 3, it's rapidly quenched or cooled simultaneously right there in the die itself. This combined hot forming and rapid cooling locks in an extremely high-strength martensitic component that would be virtually impossible to achieve if you were just bending cold steel. Section 4, Manufacturing Reality Check, the factory floor headaches. Of course, every incredible engineering solution comes with a catch once it hits the factory floor, and one of the biggest headaches is something called springback. You know, when you bend a piece of thick plastic, and when you let go, it sort of unbends itself a little bit? That's springback. Because AHSS is incredibly strong, its tendency to try and snap back toward its original shape after being formed is dramatically more pronounced than conventional steel. You can't just use the old manufacturing tools. Factories require completely updated tooling, process controls, and incredibly careful die design compensation just to deal with this snapback effect. And then there's the heat. Remember how we said AHSS is a carefully engineered microscopic recipe? Well, what happens when you blast it with the massive heat of a welding torch? You risk ruining the whole thing. Welding heat can significantly alter those carefully arranged ferrite and martensite phases, weakening the joint. Because of this tricky welding metallurgy, quality control becomes absolutely paramount. Manufacturers have to rely heavily on rigorous mechanical testing just to verify that the parts rolling off the line actually possess the intended strength properties they're supposed to. Section 5, the future of steel, beyond the current limits. So we've solved the core dilemma, mastered the microstructures, and handled the factory headaches. Where do we go from here? Well, the automotive industry's relentless push for lightweight safety guarantees that innovation isn't slowing down anytime soon. Right now, third-generation AHSS is a huge, active area of ongoing research. The goal? Aiming for even better combinations of strength and ductility than what's commercially available today. And getting there relies on manipulating even more complex microstructures and fine-tuning that crash-absorbing retained austenite we talked about earlier. And the really exciting part is that the benefits are no longer confined just to the highway. These advanced materials are now expanding into massive infrastructure projects. By utilizing AHSS, engineers are reducing the sheer structural weight of steel needed to build massive bridges and soaring skyscrapers, all while safely maintaining the exact same load capacity. It really is a perfect example of how deep metallurgical understanding translates directly into practical engineering benefits that literally protect us every single day. So I want to leave you with this thought to ponder. As we continue to master microstructural control, what new structural impossibilities will next-generation materials make possible? That's going to wrap up our explainer on advanced high-strength steels. But hey, the story of material science absolutely does not end here. Next time, we're looking at the ultimate technological crossover, how artificial intelligence is completely transforming how we study and design materials at the micro level. You definitely won't want to miss it. Keep asking questions, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.